One of my very favorite Google tools is Google Drive. So Google Drive is the way that we keep all of our files organized and store all of the content that we create within our Google domain. So a couple of things just to point out navigation wise, we have the new button over here where we can create new folders, upload files. If you already have folders organized on your desktop, you can upload an entire folder and it will just transfer over to your Drive. We can also begin new programs from Drive. Most of these can be found through the waffle as well, with the exception of Google Drawings. If you don't like this tiled feature on Drive, you can change to list layout if you would like. That is not my favorite, so I'm going to leave mine in tiles. And then we kind of have three tiers right here. We have the suggested files up here. One thing you used to always tell the students, though, especially in a student drive, most of the files under their suggested are going to be files that they've worked on that have come from a teacher. So they may not always be able to open things in the suggested. More than likely for you, it's going to be files that you've worked on recently. Then you have your folders, and then you have your loose files. So we use the folders as a process to help organize things within our drive. You can have multiple folders and then multiple subfolders within that. So you can also, sometimes if you don't want to have to click into all of these, you can open up the sidebar over here and you can open up the drop down folders and be able to see what your subfolders are if you're kind of looking for something and you don't want to open all the things. I try to use colors to help my eyes kind of find what I'm looking for. That can be done very simply by right clicking and choosing change color, and you can assign colors to different folders. Another tip that is not necessarily on your Google exam, but something interesting to know. If you have a folder that you know you're going to be opening all the time, if you either put an asterisk in front of it or an emoji, which you can do, it's right click for me, but I'm working on a Mac, so it may be different. If you put an emoji in front of your name as well, it will also move it up in the order. So you can add cute little emojis to your name too. The kids really like to do that, and they think it's neat when their teacher has it done too. So basic organization, it just takes time. But I still have the problem whenever I know that there's a document I've worked on and I need to find it. I'm going to use my search bar. Now, we have lots of filters of how we can search in Drive. You can search by your file type. You can search by people. So type can be anything. A couple of these, let's talk about what these mean. So if we have anyone, that's going to find anyone that's connected to that file in some way. Owned by me, obviously going to be files that are created by you only. Not owned by me. So if I know that someone sent me a file, I can say from, I'm going to just use Miss Dixon as an example, and I will be able to search for any file that she has shared with me through email, direct share, things like that, that she owns and has shared to me in some way. If I'm looking for something that I know I sent that to her, but I don't know where it is, I can change that from to, and I will be able to see everything that I have shared to Miss Dixon. So that's kind of a way, if you know that you shared something or you sent something to a person, you can find it through that in Google Drive. So that's kind of an easy way to search for stuff like that. Within sometimes we open things. Let's go here for a second. Like if we open up a Google Doc or a slide or something like that we don't own, one of the options that you can also do is add a shortcut. And so then you can organize shortcuts within your Google Drive as well. So I'm just going to use this form really quickly. I can add a shortcut to it and put it in a different folder with this right click menu. I can also move it by doing right click, or you can drag and drop files into the folder. So that's a really easy way. One thing that is also good to look at, let's do this professional development one. I have little people right here, and that means that I have shared this folder with someone. So I can go in and I can copy the link and I can share the entire folder. I can also open, I should be able to click on that and see who the folder is shared with. It's not coming up right now. I may just I have it open where anybody can open it, I think. So you can share an entire folder if you don't want to share individual documents. A lot of Drive is just going to be personal preference of how you want to organize your information, but the search parameters is going to be the most helpful and probably the most important part. One more thing that I want to point out on here is you also have your make a copy and then your download feature where you can download files onto your Drive. Also within that right click menu, you can rename files directly right here as well. And you can also get your share and get links. Just remember with that share, it's going to be the same permissions that you have like in Google Docs and Slides, whether it's restricted within our domain or anyone with the link.